Great to see everybody here at yet another Happening at Haloo webinar, our last Happening at Haloo of 2024. So it's very exciting. All right, for the sake of time, I'm going to get started because I know everybody is sprinting towards the end of the year as we are. So we want to be efficient with your time, but we are thrilled to have everybody here today with our last Happening at Haloo session this time, focusing on Haloo's advanced logo searching. This is our fifth Happening at Haloo webinar that we've hosted this fall. If you haven't been to one of these yet, this is our regular webinar series where we get the chance to introduce our community to some of Haloo's new features and advancements. We get to spend a little bit of time with you all as well and get to know our community. We are so sincere in saying that community is deeply important to us here at Haloo. We want to know you. We want to understand your pain points and your use cases. And ultimately, we want to learn from that and build for it and release features that truly address what you need in your practice. You'll see several things in our advanced logo search that are doing just that. So we're thrilled to share it with you today. If this is your first Happening at Haloo or your first introduction to Haloo, I'll just take a minute or two to tell you a little bit about us. First of all, about me. My name is Maren Stern. I am the VP of Sales here at Haloo, once upon a time, a trademark lawyer as well. And we at Haloo are a modern trademark research company. We're using deep and powerful AI to build the trademark tools that you've always wished for. That's how we put it on our website. We're changing the status quo, empowering you with self-serve solutions that allow you to work smarter, faster, more efficiently, more affordably, more profitably, ideally, and really just do things differently, moving away from the traditional approach of ordering expensive third-party searches, of putting clients in positions of having to choose between cost and quality, and just creating new options out there on the marketplace with new self-serve tools that allow you to get back to those high value propositions like servicing your clients, and letting some of the AI doing the heavy lifting for you. That is a perfect segue into logo searching because it is an ideal use case for AI. So before we get into the platform, I want to ask you a quick question. Our polls are something we're known for on these Happening at Haloo sessions. So I want to understand from everybody who's here with us today, is using AI for logo and design searching something that you've done before? Or is this new to you? So we'll launch our poll. You can tell us a little bit about your comfort level, and that will guide us in terms of what you are about to see today, okay? So I am going to switch my share and get straight into the platform so that we can show you what we have built here at Haloo. Now, like I mentioned, logo searching, design searching is perfectly primed for AI. This is an ideal use case because, let's be honest, design searching and logo searching is hard. It's complex, even for the most expert searcher. I think on my last count, there were 29 categories, 45 divisions, and over 800 main sections of Vienna codes. That is quite a lot. And to be able to navigate that, especially quickly and especially affordably, is certainly a challenge. And that's where AI can come in to really support. I would love to see our results of the polls and see who is already using AI for their logo and design searching. If you're not yet, then hopefully after this webinar, it's certainly something that you want to explore with. Okay, so here I am in our Haloo dashboard. You can see all of the various different things that you can do within Haloo. We're a very dynamic product and environment. Our logo searching sits right here in our comprehensive search module. We do our screening searches, we do our monitoring, we do our owner reports as well. You can talk to us about that at another time. We're going to get straight into logo. And as I was deciding what to search today in terms of my logo, I had to take a little bit of inspiration from the holidays that are coming up much too quickly. If you feel like I do, this is where I need a little bit of empathy or sympathy. So we'll launch our next poll. Are you hosting this year or are you a guest? I think I've counted 3 events between now and December 26th, a pre-Christmas dinner, a Christmas dinner, and a Hanukkah Boxing Day that I'll be hosting. So I certainly need your recommendations in terms of some great homemade treats to make for all of these dinners. And that's where we are getting started here with our we'll launch the results of that poll at the end and get to know each other a little bit more. Oh, look at all these guests. Okay, my hosts, we need to connect afterwards and celebrate or commiserate, not sure which way it is. In any case, you can see I've uploaded my logo directly to Haloo. I have the opportunity to crop it if need be. The machine has auto-detected my text already, so we can see it reads that text of homemade. And here I have the opportunity to put in an image prompt. Now, before I do that, this highlights the first real innovation in Haloo's logo search that we are doing differently than other folks out there. And this is taking multiple approaches or ways of searching into account as we conduct research. This is very, very important. Of course, when we do our powerful AI image recognition, that's what's so exciting and powerful about the capabilities of AI in a logo search, and you'll see that in a minute. But we're also giving you, as the user, the opportunity to put a little bit more of your human brain into the machine brain. This is something that Haloo does very, very well in different capacities in our tool by allowing you to take the reins and direct things as well, not just simply rely on the AI. So by prompting, I can create essentially a second design search here with the specific elements of focus that I want to focus on, decided by me as the user and prompting that. So in this case, I can write chef hat line drawing, for example. Or it could be a stylized drawing of a chef hat, however you want to describe it, but really describing those main elements of your logo and using this as a secondary source for your logo search, which is really, really powerful. So we're going to create and run that logo, and that very quickly gets us to our very dynamic and comprehensive results. Now, I mentioned already that we are taking multiple approaches to search at the same time. You can see that with the various tabs that we're going to be looking at here. First of all, our image results that are really using that AI-powered image recognition software to analyze your logo or your design. Secondly, we're going to look at our prompt results, and this is separate and distinct. This is specifically leveraging those prompts that I, as the user, asked the machine to consider in the search, which is a very unique way of doing things, just getting you even more information and more comprehensive results. And finally, we have those Google reverse image search results, which we're going to look at the end. So let's get started with my homemade logo and our image results. Now we have 3 more approaches here. Another unique thing about Haloo, both the image and text analysis, which I think you would expect, but then something unexpected and very, very unique, which is our style analysis, which we will get into in one moment. So let's start with the image analysis. You'll recall our logo was our chef's hat line drawing with my text underneath that said homemade. So in the image analysis, the machine is taking into account both the text and the image, and I'm pulling up some really interesting and relevant results right off the bat. Now you're going to see in some results like this, my Chef HQ, or this one's really interesting to me, the Homemade Gourmet, or even these ones. We have the composition of my mark, the design element on top with the text on the bottom. These are very interesting results to me, and you can see that as you scroll down through our brand new grid view format, which is so easy to see how you can find those very highly relevant results really, really quickly. Now, if you want to dig into any of the results further, just a simple click in is going to expand that so that we can see further details on the mark, or of course, get out to the USPTO record if we want to take a look at that in a more detailed way, okay? So that gives you a great preview of what you can expect in the image analysis tab. Now we're going to pop over to our second tab here, which is my text analysis. And in this case, because we auto-detected that text of homemade, which was a part of my design, I'm focusing on that element here in my text analysis with a number of different marks that incorporate that text of homemade here, okay? Now, just like our comprehensive search that you may be used to running for words or in other capacities, we have all kinds of helpful handy filters right at the top, which you can certainly leverage to focus in on what you're looking for faster. For our image and design search, we are looking across all classes. So if you want to hone in on those most relevant classes straight away, you can do that easily by adding a simple filter and changing your results in this respect, okay? Layering various filters on top of each other just to find what you're looking for even faster. All right, this is one of my favorite things. It's our style analysis. Now, Haloo is unique. We are lawyer-built tech. We understand the trademark space and lawyers extremely well. But one thing that we're very, very proud of is that our user base is very diverse. We're not just working with trademark lawyers. We are working at people who are at the front end of that branding process, folks who are creating the brands, the names, and the logos in the first place. A lot of creative agencies, marketing folks are using Haloo. And this is where the style analysis becomes very, very interesting as you're actually creating a brand, okay? We are not simply looking at your image or your text, but in the style analysis, we are looking at different compositional or stylistic elements of your logo in a different way. This can really take different forms depending on what your logo is. You can see in this case, from my chef's hat, I had all kinds of curved lines and cloud-like design, I suppose I would say. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing some really interesting logos with that same kind of curvature to the lines, be it something like this with a cloud. I have some interesting things below with a heart with that similar type of line drawing and design, something like this, which is very interesting and similar. So taking a very different approach to what we're looking at and how we're looking at it with that stylistic piece. In some cases, this style analysis will be focusing on the type of drawing, the line drawing, or the composition of the elements of your mark with respect to one another. We can be looking at types of fonts or types of colors and color combinations. Really different things in this style analysis will come up depending on your mark. All right, so we've looked at our 3 different tabs in our image results. I want to pop over to our prompt results for a moment and look at these. The prompt results are going to run a completely separate and unique search. You'll recall that in this example, the prompt that I gave to the machine was chef hat line drawing. So I'm seeing a lot of similar chef hats type of things that I've seen, but you can see this focus on line drawings, a lot more marks that may not have come up in my earlier search. It is running a completely separate and distinct search with your prompt, so you can really cue the machine in different ways by leveraging that secondary search approach, which is very, very interesting. All the same filters that we're used to using. And finally, we have our Google reverse image as our final tab. All of these results obviously can be added to your report, which we'll take a peek at the end. All right, before we move on to my next holiday-inspired logo, just one final piece to show you on this chef's hat and our homemade mark. As I mentioned at the forefront, you can crop directly in the platform. This is so, so handy, especially in cases like this, where our logo is not simply a design, but also a text element to it. You may want to crop your image in different ways so that you can look at both parts of the image separately or uniquely. You may want to look at them together. If we run just that design element on its own, we're going to get different types of results without those same image plus text composition that we saw in our first search. We're seeing something slightly different because we are simply focusing on the design. So having that flexibility directly in the tool is an excellent way to just be more efficient with your time and get those results that you're looking for very, very easily. All right, for my second holiday inspired logo, I wanted to add a little bit of color in here and add a fire. I think this is why I'm hosting so many events this holiday season, because we just refurbished our fireplace. So I'm very inspired to have people over and to have lovely, lovely roaring holiday fires, which made me want to search something like this beautiful flamed logo here. I've, of course, going to delete this since there's no auto-detected text in there. That must have been a slip of a finger. And I'm going to add my image prompt. So in this case, I'm going to add something like multi-colored flame. I've just exposed myself as Canadian with my U in color. And from there, I can run the search in this way, okay? Now, when I'm looking at my results with a colored mark like this, you can expect we're going to see something slightly different in our style analysis, which is fun. But let's start with those image results, okay? I'm seeing, again, a lot of really interesting things here on first cut, with the different color combinations, with the flames, the different movement to the logo. So a lot of really interesting marks here. Of course, like I mentioned, we can click in to see all results. And if we want to report on this for our client, a simple click is going to add all of these marks directly to my report, okay? So I can scroll through to see, you're going to notice a lot of interesting marks like this. They look more like a lotus leaf, I would say, instead of a fire. Certainly, the image is really leading to both from the way that this particular logo is designed, but that's where the prompt comes in really handy, because we'll see in our prompt results, by specifically focusing the machine on flames, it's going to find something different as opposed to these lotus leaf types of marks that are coming up in the image results. You can really see how those two different approaches are working together on a search like this, okay? In this case, there's certainly no text, so we don't need to look at that one. And then our style analysis is very interesting. In this case, this time we have a very colorful mark, and you can see the types of things that the machine is reading and is looking for. In this case, are color combinations of my marks, those different kind of stylistic elements. This is a very, very interesting mark that I would want to include in my report, perhaps this one as well. But we're seeing butterflies and we're seeing suns, but these colors and the way that they're overlapping one another are very familiar to the stylistic approach to my flame logo above. So this is something that you certainly get with the style tab that we're not getting in our other tabs, okay? So we're done looking at our image results. Let's pop over to our prompt results and see how this looks. By focusing specifically on the flame, you can see that my results are hitting both on flame imagery, flame text as well, but I've been able to focus specifically on that type of search as opposed to other visual elements that may have come up in other searches that I've run. I want to highlight again how easy and fast it is to do your review with our grid format. This is new to Haloo's view and something that really came directly from user feedback. So this is why that community is so, so important to us as we continue to build and innovate with new features. Finally, we have our Google reverse image search. It's pulling up, again, some interesting things that I can all add to my report if I want to show to my client. I'm just going to take a quick second now to show you what that report looks like. Our reporting is something that we have also released this past year. A busy, busy fall for us, full of innovation, from our common law release to our reporting release and now our logo search. But our comprehensive search reports are so beautifully designed, professional, and seamless for you. And you can see how simple it is with just a few clicks to get all of your relevant information into our reporting format in something that you should be proud to send to your clients, something that's taken you ideally a lot less time to produce, but with quality data that you can really rely on and go to your clients with confidence. So that is all the time we have today. We know it's such a busy time of year, so we did want to keep our webinar today to only 20 minutes instead of 30, again, on user request. So you asked and we listened, and we'll end it now. If you've had a question on what you've seen today, we will certainly get back to you after the webinar and answer that for you. Or you can consult the chat. There is a link directly within the chat for you to book some time with our team. We would love to show you a personal demo. Bring your logos. We can search them and look at this in more detail with you. Set up a free trial so you can do some testing yourself and really see the power of our new innovations and our new logo search. We're so glad to have you join us today. Thank you so much for sharing time with us here at Haloo. And I wish you all a wonderful, happy, and a healthy holiday season.